What kind of fuel does the brain actually run on? What is it depleting?
It is depleting basically oxygen and glucose. That's its fundamental. I'm sure there's other things in there, chemicals which are catalysts to those reactions, but primarily oxygen and glucose. And I did mention the prefrontal cortex.
Yeah.
And I said that the body takes about 20% of the brain takes about 20% of the body's energy. The prefrontal cortex, which is a tiny piece at the very front, don't know the exact ratio, but it's a tiny piece. It occupies 20% of the brain's energy.
Wow.
So you've got this tiny little piece that's very particular to the executive functioning of the brain, occupying an ordinate share of the brain's energy. It's also one of the reasons why your brain stores about 10 minutes of fuel and of oxygen and glucose. It's already in there. And it's one of the reasons why if your brain is depleted or prevented from getting that fuel, you've got a maximum of about 10% before there's serious damage to the brain.
Wow. Okay.
Very interesting. I said 10%. I should have said 10 minutes.
No, I think it makes total sense. And I think it connects back to what we were talking about with decision-making because rational decision-making is happening in the prefrontal cortex. That's why when you make so many of those decisions, that part of the brain, it's using up so much more energy, which is consuming more of what the brain is actually taking from the body, which then obviously makes us feel more drained throughout our day.
And let's take it back to one of the previous podcasts. And that is when the brain gets depleted, there are things that it's not so good at making those other decisions, but it's also less good at self-control, less good at empathy, all those type of things. So when you have had a busy day with the brain, you've done lots of decision making, you come home, you survive the journey home because you were on autopilot anyway, driving along. You get home, you're not going to be as empathetic and you have self-control as you might have done at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Way to get around that. One of the things to do, we're learning more and more, is go out for a 20-minute, half-hour walk in nature in the woods to give your brain a reboost.
Mm-hmm. Right. Now, make sure you're safe in the woods, right? We want to put a little asterisk on that. But yes, I think it's a great idea because I know that when we get out, and that's one of the books that you're reading right now, and in obviously just the way that our brains are created or they function, is it's better when we're out moving in nature and doing something different than what we were doing before.